Serie A World.
Hi, man.
How's it going?
All good, thanks. How's it going with you?
Yeah, getting by. It feels like ages. What I was thinking to do, instead of going through all the scores, because I've got all the scores of Italy's on the various levels for the men's team over November, instead of going through all those scores, because there's quite a few, I'll just say which each level did in terms of games and wins and stuff like that. So then get that out of the way, and then we can talk about what's coming up on the weekend and any other stuff as well. So I'll jump in now. The under 15s had one game and they drew one. The under 17s played 3 and won all 3. The under 18s had one game and won that. The under 19s played 3 games and they won all their games. The under 20s played 2 and they won all their games, and then the under 21s played 2 and they drew both those games, and then the main team played 2, won 1, lost 1. As some people may or may not know, Italy beat Belgium 1-0, and then they went and lost 3-1 to France, which put them second in the group when they had control to win it. So I think obviously the first thing we need to talk about is the main squad and what you thought about those games, and go from there. Hello?
Yeah, so from my side,
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of work to be done still. You know, after the Belgium game, I saw everybody going, oh look, Italy are back, they're great, and whatever, and I saw Spalletti even sort of, I told you, didn't I? You didn't believe me, sort of stuff he was saying. And then they went and got turned over by France. And the gaps you can definitely see. Easy to fix, I think. For example, I think a lot of people would agree. I was saying this to you at the start, I don't like the choice of Vicario as the second keeper. We know there's a lot. We could probably name 3 from Serie A that should take that spot. Donnarumma, this just showed Donnarumma is number 1, he's great. And and then aside from that, the way those goals were conceded, it's just mad, because set pieces, got tall defenders, I'm not sure what happened there. That should be an easy fix in training. I just can't believe they let that happen.
Yeah.
It was just weird.
Yeah, and I think, as you say, like in the Belgium game, the second half was really poor, and again, they could have ended up losing that, let alone winning it. So again, I wasn't quite sure why the hype around it. And then because they'd technically qualified because of that, because they needed a point out of 2 games, they'd qualified, but that didn't guarantee the top spot. But the attitude that the team seemed to show was, as long as we don't lose by the same scoreline or by 3 goals, we're all right. And yeah, I didn't like that. It just reminded me of the old Italy with the friendlies and can't be bothered, really. And so I was a bit disappointed in that. I was expecting a better attitude, even from the players who don't always play, and just a better all-round game. I was really disappointed in the France game, and as I say, half of the Belgium game. So overall, I was just not too happy with Italy. And even though you can see the potential in the squad, I mean, as I say, a lot of them are very young, and they can keep a core of these players for the next 10 to 15 years, really, if they manage them well. But yeah, I wasn't too happy with the international break because of that. Obviously, as I was saying, from the rest of the different levels of Italy, they all did all right. None of them lost, and that's all. I don't know how many games it was on top of me without looking, but do you know what I mean? I just think the main team needs to step up and keep this consistency going. Otherwise, you're not going to get anywhere if we keep stepping back once. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah, it's a shame, because we know there's great players around, if it's a problem with attitude or whatever, he's got a good pool of players to choose from, and we should see changes.
Yeah.
We should see people being dropped and called up now. It's gone are the times where you just pick who should, names.
Yeah.
You need to really go on form and
that's it.
doing what and where. Because I don't know why Vicario was just some undisputed number 2. He was good. We know he had potential before he left, but keeping him there, we could see. Maybe some may say I'm judging him harshly. I just think, drop him.
It wasn't a good game.
Yeah.
And as you say, it just feels like his development has halted since he's left. But he's getting picked because of where he is rather than what he's doing. I don't know. So yeah, I mean, I don't really have too much more to say on Italy because I'm just not happy. Even though they went through, I was expecting them to, especially at home and in the San Siro, to do much better and have a better attitude. And now I'm wondering what they're going to do in the next game.
Yeah, do you know when that is, by any chance?
No.
I can't remember when the next year is. It Jan or Feb or something like that? I'm not sure, but we'll take a look. One interesting thing about Italy, though, that I did want to mention is they're in pot 1 for the World Cup qualification, right? So obviously the other teams are in pot 1 as well: Spain, Germany, France, England, Portugal, like this. So you've got Switzerland, Holland, teams like that. But they shouldn't take it for granted, because if you look at the other pots, 2 and 3, Turkey, Ukraine, you've got Scotland, Slovenia. It's not a pushover, is it? They'll need to be on their game.
Yeah.
They really will. And the actual group draw will be 13th of December. So we'll be able to tell people, won't we, on that day we'll be watching it. We'll let all the listeners know who's going to be in Italy's qualification group.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at it. It just shows.
There's no fixtures showing at the moment, so I'll just have a quick look as well.
The thing is that pot 2 and 3 not pushovers. So, as you say, next game they really need to do a lot of work.
Yeah. But I mean, I say overall, it's promising. I just expected more from them after the run that they were on. And as I said, I think I said to you before, it just reminds me similar of the Milan thing, where they kept getting praise for stuff even though it was only for like spurts in the game rather than a full game of consistent pressure and domination. But yeah, that's that. Sorry.
From my side, I think for sure Di Gregorio should be considered as the number 2. Or, I don't know if you can think of another keeper.
Merit as well.
Yeah. Those 2. Hopefully that conversation's being had. But also, I wasn't very happy with Locatelli, Raspadori, Bertesi this time, and Retegui. So, I think they will need to work on their game for them.
Yeah, definitely. And in Serie A terms, this week on Saturday at 2 there's Verona Inter. Then at 5 we've got Milan Juve. 7:45 game is Parma Atalanta. Then on Sunday, Genoa Cagliari start off at 11:30. And then Torino Monza and Como Fiore at 2. Napoli Roma at 5. Lazio Bologna 7:45. Then on the Monday, Empoli Udinese 5:30 and Venezia Lecce 7:45. So I'm sure there's a couple at least catching your eye there.
Yeah, and predictions have been made. For me, Milan Juve is the one I want to see. On paper, Napoli Roma sounds like it will be and it probably will be.
Well, now Ranieri's there, it might be a different attitude from them. So
he'll bring something, won't he? But I just have zero patience and love for Roma these days. Sorry if you're a fan. The way they've chopped and changed managers, and they've got a good team, haven't they? They've got some really strong players. And in games, it makes it really hard to watch for me.
Yeah. I mean, for considering the talent they've got, as well as the spending power they have as well, and although there's just everything surrounding it, it's just it baffles me as well to how they don't seem to reach the heights that their potential really has. But
yeah,
that's that, isn't it? I don't know.
Yes, they're the games for me.
Yeah, and say, like always, all Serie A games are going to be interesting, and it's good that it's going to be coming back, so I'm looking forward to that. On other news, technically Serie A related in the sense of Martinez, he's gone and equalled Maradona's goals for Argentina now, so he's done that, that's good. There's talk about Milan trying to get Diaz back, Brahim. Inter getting rid of Arnautovic and Correa, but they had trouble doing that in the summer anyway before. And then apparently Roma are trying to get Endrick. And there was another appointment, wasn't there? The Gilardino getting sacked and Vieira coming in. That's even though he's been in Serie A, he's not managed in Serie A, so it's his first managing job in Serie A. And apparently, according to the Genoa president, Balotelli and Vieira will hug, because if you didn't know, they've been in the same team quite a few times and haven't got on very well. So who knows if Balo's going to last up to January and if he'll be on that. So any other stories you want to talk about or anything else?
Yeah, there's a few. So we have, there's a lot involving players. We'll see how Balotelli reacts. I'm sure it will be fine. Mm-hmm. Bit of drama, isn't it? But we'd like to think they're both big boys now. But from my side, what I was thinking, I'm not sure if you saw the USA-Jamaica result. I didn't watch the game. No. But yeah, USA beat Jamaica 4-2. Why are we talking about this here? Because Serie A players.
That's quite a few.
But yeah, Pulisic, he scored a couple goals. McKennie had a couple of assists. Weir had a goal. Musa had an assist. So thanks to the training, I guess, of those players. And I've seen this a couple of times, but hopefully it goes nowhere. Liverpool are looking to sign Thuram, they say. They did approach, and they know the release clause is just 85 mil, but he is known to have been said to be happy at Inter and not thinking of leaving. Those famous last words.
Exactly, especially with apparently PSG want him as well, didn't they? And that's going back home to France, and the money they can give him is probably ridiculous compared to what Inter will give him.
I truly think that this will happen. Maybe in the summer. I'm pretty sure he's gone. When PSG want someone, they chip away and they eventually get that person, don't they? So, like what you've just said, it's not that hard, is it? It's going back home and earning lots of money.
And basically winning the league every year.
Yeah. But, there's that. And then, just going back to that Vieira story, what did you think of Gilardino as a manager? Because for me, I feel it was very unfair, the way they did him dirty. I guess the results weren't coming in, right?
It's more the where they are on the table and everything, isn't it? But I mean, they were starting to pick up like their performances, but I don't know. Like, is Vieira going to be the thing they need? Who knows? We're not going to know until it goes in. But I mean, if you look at the table, they're 1 point above the relegation, but everything's so close that even a couple of wins would put them up to mid-table. So I think it's quite sudden, just like Roma with De Rossi as well, and Genoa possibly could end up regretting that, but they might also have the new manager boost that teams seem to get. So we'll just have to see what happens there.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I just felt, it was a bit unfair, but they had that bad spell, and I guess the conversations were already starting, weren't they?
Yeah, I mean, the table's so close. The bottom of the table has got 8 points, and Genoa on 10. But as I say, like if you even look, let's have a look to 11 from Venezia at the bottom to Torino in 11th is just 6 points. Do you know what I mean? So it's harsh to be like judged on table position when the table is so close. Because as I say, all it takes is a little bit of run of form and you can shoot up the table. So who knows? We'll see. I mean, is there anything else you've got?
I guess it's just did this the other week, so I'll just continue it. But I think goal to rewind and watch back would be from the international break would be Lautaro's goal.
Yeah.
Nice goal set up by Messi. But the question remains, why is he not doing that for Inter at the moment? The goals have been here and there, right? And more people are talking about Turan, which is worrying. He really needs to bring that international form and his last year form to Inter now, right?
Oh, for Inter, yeah. they could do with another striker firing, so I'm sure he'll be alright. He'll get through it, and it just takes one goal, doesn't it, and you're back on form. So
yeah, that's it. From me, nothing other than go and watch that goal.
Okay, alright, well, what we'll do is we'll see the weekend, and there's Monday games. I'll check what else is going on next week, if there is any, and we'll go from there, and we'll catch up next week.
Thanks.
Alright, see you later.
Bye.